So from there, Mace takes off. Harlem World drops. Classic album. Pretty much every other record is a single. He's all over the radio. You're still managing him at this point, right?
Yeah. I think I was still managing him at that point. Yeah. We should have met him.
He wakes up one day and he says, yo, I don't want to do this no more.
Oh, Mace?
Yeah.
You know what?
That was the second album, right before the second album.
Yeah.
Double.
Yeah, so Harlem World was out.
Right.
Yeah, he was doing all, because he did All Out. Didn't he do
Right,
All Out?
All Out,
Was that
yeah.
All Out?
All
Yeah,
Out.
All
He
Out.
did All Out with all them guys.
Right.
It was him, Little Baby J,
Blinky Blink.
Blink,
Yeah.
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 It was
Mino.
about Mino. It was about 4 or 5 of them from Harlem, and they had the All Out chains on.
Right.
Loon.
I remember that. Loon.
Right.
Yep.
Baby Stace.
All them. He put that little crew together, and I guess they had that little deal, and I don't know how much he did with it, but you know,
But at the time, you were managing Mace, and Mace, didn't he go to Atlanta and like sign some deal with JD, Jermaine Dupri, to get that All Out situation?
I want to keep it on when he decided to leave the game.
To go on his church thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Tommy did all that. I don't even think we was even around him like that at that point, because he was in Atlanta. We was here, so when he probably lived over there, he was making all of the decisions as far as, pastor and all that. I ain't seen none of that. That was all in Atlanta. New York was here. People was jealous of him and things, so he was running into situations here. So it was his best move is to just move and go start all over again. So that's what he did.
How hard is it going from being in the streets to managing artists? Like, you start off just really being responsible for yourself and your best interest and your crew behind you, but as you go, your crew goes. But now you have to deal with an artist who has, they got these creative ideas they want to do. They got all these moves they want to make. They start bringing in a whole bunch of other people around them, and you got to sift through all this stuff and still tell this guy what to do for his own good, while his ego is going nuts. And you got major artists who are getting major looks all under your hand at the same, Mace, the Locks, and DMX and Eat. These are major move makers whose eyes you have to, you got to stay with them at all times. It's a lot of moving parts. How did you switch mentalities that quick?
You know what? It wasn't as hard because you get if I had to work on Eve's album, it was just Eve's hours. I just block everything out and go focus on Eve. So I worked all albums. I did all the projects with them. We was in the studio every day. Every day. It wasn't like I ever left them. We did every day. So you got to vibe with them. If it's the Eve project, that's what we focus on. We ain't worrying about X. We ain't worrying about nobody but Eve. And then it's X album. We do the same for every album. And I said, you got to get into their world. You got to become them kind of to be able to get a good album.
That leads to I don't know if how much further ahead you want to get, but that actually leads you to a couple other places.
Yeah, and I know where you're going. Let's to pull it back and go to the Locks. Now, Locks, they're in this situation. I always thought, this is my theory, and in fact, it's not fact. I always thought, yes, the Locks was the street dudes. So, with what was going on at Bad Boy at the time, and there was a billion other New York rappers who felt the same thing. We wanted to duck the shiny suits, even though the shiny suits was winning.
Yeah, that was around the Versace time and
right. But if you was from the hood and you rap, you was like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to wear leather all summer. You know what I mean? That ain't with me. You know what I mean? I actually took an opportunity to go at Eminem. Shout out to Eminem. Through Benzino because I thought I would be able to duck the suits.
Right.
That was my main motivation. If I could do this first,
if I could get around the suit, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I ain't got to do the suit.
Right.
But the Locks, that wasn't their vibe. So after doing it, because they did it for a while with Puff,
yeah, they did it.
Money, Power, Respect comes out.
Yep.
Was there a frustration with them, like, yo, this ain't us? Like, what led to them wanting off of Bad Boy?
You know what? They didn't really. Where Puffin was going wasn't really where they really represents. Like they really represent the streets. They was borderline street, corporate, bottles. They don't know nothing about all that yet. They just know about their block, where they come from, and that's what they rhyme about. Until they get older, then they know as they go. But they didn't want to wear suits and stuff. They wanted to wear jeans, regular pants, boots, Timbs.
Right.
They wanted to go that route.
Right.
So that's where the friction was, is that we can't be ourselves.
Now, was the influence the success of DMX?
See, you know your fucking homework. You know your homework. That's how I know you know your homework. See, what happened is this. See, we knew, I had all them, so I know who was the best. I know X was the chosen one.
Yeah.
But, you know, I had them for like 8 years before I even got him a deal. But X is
How
the
long?
one.
8 years?
I had X on for 8 years. I can't even, but years. So we always would be in the studio, you know, when X rhyme, everything stopped. Period. I don't care who's rhyming, how many it is, wherever we go. He just had that about him.
Yeah.
So everybody that rhyme with him know he's the one. All the rappers know like he's the one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, people on the outside wouldn't know. But when he come in the studio, he shut it down. And X was just the chosen one. But he was difficult to deal with. So I knew if I just gave him to somebody or give him a deal, they wouldn't have been able to deal with him because he was too difficult. So
How so? Give me the difficult.
I mean, X don't come, he might not come. He show up, he don't care. You know how difficult it is. He missed 2 times, he came to the Grammy, he still don't go. Yeah, the Grammy, I don't care about that. Yeah, I'm over here. He might be flying his plane somewhere, but he just, you know, he just didn't care about the money and the fame. He just loved to do it. His passion was just doing it. The money never changed him, the fame didn't change him. You know, he had different things he was dealing with in his life, but he's just always remained the same.
He's just that guy.
No matter how much you gave him, he'll walk in the projects right now and just be like, hey, what's up? How your people doing? And that's just how he was all the way until he passed.
For better or for worse?
For
I said for better or for worse.
Better or for worse. He was,
So
he never changed.
So was it like the Lock seeing that DMX was staying true to his authentic self?
And still won.
Them saying to themselves like, yo, look at what X is doing. He ain't shifting his narrative. He ain't
wearing
moving
a
nothing.
suit.
He ain't wearing a suit.
He
He's
wore
still
one
winning.
for 4, 3, 2, 1. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
You know,
Exactly.
he had the peacoat,
Yeah.
he had the joint.
Exactly.
That was it, though.
Yeah.
So
He
it's
had
like,
no shirt on.
exactly.
He
So it's
rocking.
like, Puff, why you gotta market us this way? When X is over here being his authentic
being
self.
himself.
Right.
So was X the influence in the Lock saying, yo, we don't even want to be a part of Bad Boy anymore?
They probably didn't say it, but they probably witnessed it and been like, you know what? If he can do it, why we can't do it? Because X never changed nothing. He came, his first video we shot, one of the first videos we shot with X was in the tunnel.
Right. Get at me, dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the one. He came
Hype
in
Williams.
Yeah.
there with no shirt on, a farmer suit, Timbs, and
Right.
that's how he went.
And that was it.
That's it.
Right.
No clothes, don't give me no shirts, I don't want none of that. He had no shirt on, he just went in there and that was it.
Was it true the Locks was all 3 of them were supposed to be on that record prior to him? It just being him and Sheik.
No, it was only supposed to be him and Sheik because X did the verses, but Sheik just did the chorus.
Right.
Because his voice fitted. So he was like, all right, go ahead, Sheik, you do it. He did it and it worked. So you know, but the good part is that it's crazy because X introduced us to the Locks. He was like, I got some guys that's nice. I was like, all right, take me where they at. He took me to the block and he was like, there they go right there. So he introduced us to them because they're all from Yonkers. That's how it went.
So did X also introduced Dragon?
No, Drag is from the Bronx,
Right.
right? So I met Drag, but I used to be on 125th Street at the Mart. But Drag used to be over there working, hustling. So I used to see him all the time. And then I was there and he ran to me. I was like, oh, okay. So I took him and just brought him in and just helped him get through his little time. And he was, you know, I pulled Drag myself because he was standing there. I seen him every day for at least the whole summer. So I took him in and just worked with him.
Because I always thought DMX put Dragon on.
I thought they were related at first.
Yeah, I thought they were
look like
cousins.
cousins or something.
Yeah. No, they never knew each other. Drag is from the Bronx, and I just met them on 25th Street, and then I just embraced them and let them come to the studio, and they start working from there.
Spinning back, that means that from that story, that means that DMX was a bigger influence to the Locks than Biggie.
100%.
Biggie started off as a street dude too, but Biggie put the suits on and it didn't affect anything. It just upscaled him.
Yeah.
But it never hurt his
But it worked
credibility.
for him just like it
Yeah,
worked
That's
for
what I'm
Mace.
saying.
Billy
It
was
never hurt his
Biggie was
credibility.
able to balance it out.
Yeah, that's my
after
point.
death.
That's
Like,
exactly
once
what I'm
life
saying.
after death, he balanced that shit out.
Right.
Street, shiny suits, whatever. Puff marketed that shit genius.
Perfect.
Yeah, it worked.
Even after he broke his leg, he's with the cane,
Yeah,
he got the
yeah.
suit on.
But he talked about everything he went through in life after death. That's the thing. He's told his story, word for word.
Nah, Ready to
Everything
Die
he went to.
was
No,
more
No,
before
it's
that.
Nah, life after death.
No, man.
Come on, bro.
Bruh, let's
Come
just
on,
stop.
bro.
Stop.
You talking to me,
Stop.
bro?
Stop.
I
Yeah,
was
but-
locked
yeah,
up listening to them albums,
And-
bro.
That's cool.
Jailhouse.
But I'm from
You
Peace
was-
and Don't
okay,
Deliver
baby,
Brooklyn.
yeah.
We know better.
Yeah, man. I'm
You
passionate
know
about
about
this
the
shit,
boss,
man.
niggas.
But,
Ain't no deep thinking in you. Any nigga that sit, you know how
Critical
you
analysis,
stare that
nigga.
damn 4 walls. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Exactly. We're gonna dissect every fucking
Quick.
syllable.
I start counting bricks on the wall. You see how many bricks on there? 1,002. Since I bought it.
That's a fact.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.